This poem is called It's Not That Simple. Why don't you just get treatment? Have you thought of that? The sound of the question makes me want to scream. And yet I hesitate. Why? Because I know no scream sound I can make will be adequate to fully capture the echo of the inaccurate medical litanies I have encountered in just such attempts perpetually made, but shot down for one reason or another. The outpatient litanies. ADHD doesn't happen in adults. If you have a depression, you don't have ADHD. ADHD really isn't a disorder. It's just what we call it, and we can't find anything else. You're just depressed and anxious. Stimulants are bad meds. I don't prescribe stimulants in any case, period. I'm not a fan of them. Too high a dose and it will make you a drug addict. It's a controlled substance. You might abuse it. What? You say you've always taken meds as prescribed? Always? You're obviously trying to get stimulants. You have signs of depression. We have to treat that first. When all that's in order, we can address what you call ADHD. I'm trying to complete your assessment as quickly as possible. Birth date, insurance information. No, it's obvious you don't have any difficulty focusing. You want a copy of the assessment? Oh, by the way, the doctor that did the assessment doesn't work here anymore. Even if you had ADHD, we can't give you stimulants if you're depressed. It's slightly depressing not to be able to work or function, actually. No antidepressant has fixed that yet. Years passed. Still hasn't. Finally, a doctor who believes I have ADHD and is willing to begin treatment. I got switched off her caseload for a technicality. My living situation was not stable in her district for long enough. New to the area? Sorry, you have to wait 6 months to establish residency in the state to apply for insurance coverage. You keep jumping states to avoid homelessness. Why can't you just settle down and take care of this? What? The only place you can stay is in Canada? We won't cover your services there. Just reach the month when you're eligible for Canadian government health insurance? Time to go back to the States. Sorry, your previous doctor's booked. She's not accepting new patients. We know you were a patient of hers, but we closed your file while in Canada, so on the screen it says you're a new patient. You'll have to start with somebody new. What? You feel funny with the meds your new doctor combined? We're sorry, he doesn't work here anymore. The doctor over my right shoulder here at the office, though he's never seen you and doesn't know your case, says cut your antidepressant in half from 200 to 100 milligrams. We'll arrange to see you in a couple of weeks. Inpatient litanies. No, we will not give you stimulant medication. It's bad for adults. You have major depression, not ADHD. No, I'm not interested in hearing about your 12-hour professional assessment with an ADHD specialist. It's not pertinent here. You don't have ADHD. You say you are here because your meds were wrongly combined? You want us to oversee and observe the combination of ADHD meds with your antidepressant? Absolutely not. So you're having problems with your meds. It's probably not high enough. No, we won't switch you. We'll just increase it. Sure, the manufacturer says you can't go above 200 milligrams, but I regularly go up to 300 milligrams with my patients. You feel numb and are starting to experience tics in your hands? Meds do that sometimes. What? You're sensitive to noise? The doors are designed to be loud. That way we won't miss it if anybody's trying to escape. It's policy. We have to check on you every 15 minutes or so. Best way to do it is to open wide your door, put a flashlight in your face, and see if you're okay. Fumble through a stack of paperwork that is out of order, loudly. We are largely in the same place every 15 minutes. Can they not be arranged to be in order? Can the door be closed so one stops being flooded with light and hearing the echo of nurses' hallway conversations while trying to sleep? So that they don't have to keep getting out of bed to close it themselves? Repeatedly. It's loud. The sound hurts. I can't sleep. No, you can't have earplugs. They are a choking hazard. Want some sleeping meds? Trazodone, perhaps? No, your doctor doesn't have to approve it. We can authorize that. It's time to go. We found you a place, but you can only stay there for 2 weeks. I found a man who cared for me. I married for love and stability. I lost all Medicaid benefits the day I married him. though his income was not sufficient to provide what I needed. We were too rich for help now, supposedly. Thought the transition would be smooth to seeing a private doctor covered by my new insurance. I called for an intake, and they said they would call back. Eventually. What they didn't say was that it would be months. I was told the only way to get meds prescribed that I had run out of was again to go inpatient. Those are really the only openings to see a psychiatrist. I went in again. This time it was a private hospital, not government funded, a different world completely. They actually believed I had ADHD and placed it in the notes in my chart. But they were honest, however, nicely, that they really can't deal with those things here. We can only address the depression. You'll have to get an ADHD doctor when you leave. Outpatient litanies continued. There are not very many specialists in ADHD. There aren't any covered by your insurance. There are a few that will see you for between $200 and $400 per session, which you must attend monthly, since your meds are a controlled substance. The meds that they will likely prescribe are under patent and will be another $200 to $400 per prescription, if they have openings. And you can pay in cash or check. Would you like to schedule an appointment? Oh, sorry, we're backed up. Meds off again. No appointments available. Again, back to inpatient. This time they understood, but still could only try another combination of medicines slowly that proved not to work eventually. Time to taper off slowly and begin another med. Wait 6 months and see if it works before switching to another. A cruel trial and error that seemed to have no ending. Finally, they discovered I did not only have ADHD, but hypersensitivity and other symptoms due to undiagnosed autism, unknown till almost 40. Perhaps it can be said that depression and anxiety were only byproducts of another entity. They tried me on autism meds. They transformed my world for 2 weeks, then stopped working. The same experience as the stimulants I had been allowed to try sporadically under doctors I couldn't afford to continue to see. Yes. I have thought of getting help. I have thought of that. Unfortunately, for me, and for many, it's not that simple.